Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we welcome Richard from Tennessee on the Republic Broadcasting Network. But first, joining Targeted Massachusetts is free. Just go to targetedmassachusetts.org and at the top of the page, go to Join TM. Please complete the easy registration form. By joining, you receive our newsletter, text updates, and the latest developments on our targeted situation. If you have any questions, call me anytime in the U.S. at 1-508-857-8334. Call into the show live and ask a question at 800-313-9443, or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Access by phone 515-604-9715. Access code 708-922. ID targeted. To access us by computer, in your address bar, type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Our YouTube channel is Targeted Massachusetts. Okay, we have a guest tonight, as I mentioned, Richard from Tennessee. I understand you called in. Well, how you doing, Richard?
Certainly. I'm doing good. I hope you guys are, all of you, and God bless America.
God bless America. If there's any yellow states left, I mean, they're all red now.
Yes, sir. We've got a lot of red going on, but we've also got a lot of misinformation and lies going on to go along with it. So I think that's where they want us, is confused and not really knowing what's going on. But that's just my belief. I do have some proof and things that point toward the fact that they've been knowing this for a long time, but it's not nothing that has just popped up that they're working on. And, well, I wish them luck with whatever agenda they do have in mind, because we're not going to be, well, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
Right, and we've just had a latest update from Bill Gates. He actually contributes more than the UK to the World Health Organization. And he contributed, I guess, more than China. And my point is that the WHO did not approve of us closing our borders to China. So the endeavor with China was due to the WHO backing China versus the U.S. So the president's not very happy about that.
Yes, sir. I'm sure he isn't, for good reason. And funny you should bring up the UK. There's an awful lot of fraud going on in all of this targeting and virus and experimentation things that are happening to, well, not only TIs, but non-TIs who quickly become TIs. And that is some research I did pertaining to a vehicle that I found that had snuck up close to where I lived, and I managed to get a tag number, and the tag number had Land of Froi, F-R-O-I, and or F. Anyway, the information I got was in the UK, and it was an organization called Fellows of Royal Institutes. And I went on to read about these institutes in the UK, and it seems that you had to be some kind of way out there scientist on top of some extraordinary game doing some kind of extraordinary experimentation or research to become a part of this organization. And there the car was, within 50 yards of where I live. And, well, the lady driving the car, by the way, she had on a set of nurse's scrubs. She also had a ID tag, which I could not read, hanging around her neck. But just as soon as she found out that I was there, she left a few tracks on the pavement, probably a few in a couple of other places.
Ah, that's funny. Well, it's not funny at all, but it's curious that someone from that organization would be at your house unless they're all involved in it.
Well, that's my point, yeah.
Yeah, there are too many instances where we come up with tag numbers that are outrageous in the gang stalking community. And as far as the electronic community, which is still the same community, we come up with all kinds of stories from the perps. I'm sure Marilyn has given you quite a few things to listen to, because she is very horribly targeted electronically.
Absolutely. And I know that all these things do exist. All of the things that happen and we have found, they do exist. Some of the confusion lies between exactly what they're being used for, but they all exist. And even the boots on the ground, the coming and going from people's homes and the physical experimentation, I have got physical proof abounding that people are actually being physically touched and physically done things to. One was something I just had verified today. And there was some things about something being squirted up the nose that leaves a very bad, oily taste in T.I.'s mouth. And this has been going on, but they didn't know it was being squirted up the nose. So I had to ask the question. That's what I do best. Why up the nose? Well, it turns out that this is the part of verified, and that's a way to send it directly to your lymph nodes. So whatever it was, you can't spit out. You can cough it up. You can, try to, but it actually runs down your throat into your stomach and lungs. So this is physical proof that someone was directing something directly to our lymph nodes. And but all of the electronics are being used, and all the other things are being done too. I would like to ask our non-TIs as well as TIs to see if they can't come together and put aside all the differences that we have between ourselves and realize that, well, we've got to start helping and doing something for each other. The whole TI community, in fact, is not what we made it, is what someone else made it. And I've known, as I've said before, for 2 years or more now, that there's been a pandemic. There's been at least an epidemic, which turns out, well, now it's worldwide, and they've put a name on it. But just because they've put a name on it doesn't mean that's what it was 15, 20, 25 years ago that they're doing to TIs. And it turns out also, by the way, radiation, microwave, drugs, chemicals, which are usually the both. That's a confusion too. A chemical can be a drug, and a drug can be a chemical. So all of these things that are being used on TIs also point to some type of physical experimentation, as well as the fact that, well, they got us all strung out, confused, don't know which way we're going, what we're doing, and they've got us labeled conspiracy theorists. But in fact, you have to listen, yes, but you also have to hear, and you have to see, but you also have to know what you're seeing is the truth or not. And the 5G and the satellites and the whole thing is being used, and the activation of things in our bodies, even down to the cells being burst from our cells. It's all a matter of experimentation and, well, using us for guinea pigs. And let's not forget the fraud that is being committed in the billions and billions of dollars, as well as the billions of people that are being abused to carry all this out. And, well, I'd just like to say to America that our ex-judge Andrew Napolitano said it best when he said on CNN News, in fact, that if the American people knew what the government was doing to them, there would absolutely be war. And I said it the other night, let's don't run out of tea before we have the party. If we do, there won't be any reason to have the party.
Yeah, another thing you might want to take into consideration here, too, is microwaves affect the way the human body absorbs oxygen. So it kind of explains, I was speaking of this last night, and I was saying that, you'd see a person in China, a woman should be walking along, minding her own business, carrying things and hustling home, and then she'd drop dead right in the middle of the street. So what's up with that? Well, I think that, in fact, I know that they have instituted 5G in a big way over there. So could be related. I'm not going to say
Absolutely.
That it is. I'm just going to put it out there for thought.
Well, I'll say that it is because the research that was done pertains to the shrinking and drawing of the lungs. And when you do that, you push out two things. And one of those is the moisture, and the second is the oxygen. So the lung itself is dry as a bone, dry coughing, dry hacking, and, well, that's definitely a TI symptom. But again, I've said that the coronavirus seems to be having, as far as what they're calling the coronavirus, has the same symptoms that TIs have, except the fact that TIs have been having them for an awful lot of years. So there's more going on behind the scene with this whole thing, and the cover-up that we've all had to experience, the hiding of what they're doing, the covert, overt functioning of the people coming on and doing, and the stalking, and the whole nine yards is just it pertains to if you look it up, it pertains to a protocol. It's a protocol. They have a protocol. No one can deny they have a protocol because we go through it day and night. And when you have a pandemic or epidemic, there's a protocol. And one of the first parts of that protocol is the fact that you are isolated. They try to keep you isolated. Sleep depravity so that they can manipulate the body, manipulate you, manipulate everything. And then if you add in the experimentation for the brain and the brain waves and the controlling of the mind, the MK Ultra, if you add all of that in there and the chemicals and drugs it takes to do it, then, well, by golly, you just built yourself a perfect TI.
Very interesting that you should bring that up. We had a doctor send out an email, and the email was forwarded. I got a copy of it. And this doctor goes into detail about how this coronavirus, so-called, doesn't act like any viral pneumonia that he's ever seen. Everything's dry, and he even went on to say that the ventilators that they use are possibly causing damage to the lungs. So, because they actually weren't necessary. But, you know, this is news that I am passing on that is true, that I heard it, and you should write it down somewhere and compile all these facts that we give you and do your research and come back on the show with some answers. And Richard and I will still be here. Go ahead.
Sir. Well, in fact, Frank, I spoke with several doctors, and we went from head to toe on the human TI body. And we investigated all the symptoms, all the things that were going on with the human body as far as TIs are concerned. And one of the most interesting was that, well, the fluids, the swelling of the feet, the swelling of the legs, everybody running to the doctors to get the fluid pills and trying to, and well, we figured out that, okay, one of the first things that happen when your body is over moisturized, then is your heart's going to beat faster, rapid beating hard, because of trying to handle the extra fluid and pumping it back and forth that's in your body. And then, all of a sudden, you're going to have the frequent urination. You're going to have urination that is clear one time and very yellow or orange the next time for no reason at all. You're going to have the kidney problems. You're going to need to do the flush in the kidneys and so on, depending on whether you're a man or a lady. All of that is indicating someone putting fluid into your body. And even the joints, the pain that everyone has in the joints and the swelling of the joints and the steady. Well, if you look up aspiration, it's a way of removing fluids from each joint, which, by the way, replenishes itself in the human body. So you can take these fluids from the joints, hip, shoulder, knee, ankle, hip, wherever, neck.
Okay, Rich, we have to go to commercial.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
3 minutes, no problem.
Folks, we're living in a world the likes of which we've never perceived any clearer than we do now. The plan for global governance has been in the works for generations and would have likely been achieved by now but for the fact that the globalists left open their Achilles heel. With all their tools, Federal Reserve System, fiat currency, no child left behind, and then Common Core education introduced to our schools to dumb us down, vaccines, pharmaceuticals to lobotomize us, GMO foods, insertion of compromised or bought and paid for politicians, judges, mainstream media propaganda, all pieced together like a puzzle designed to ultimately bring the world under submission. But with all their strategy, they forgot one thing: knowledge. And knowledge is power. With knowledge, their bombardment is nullified. Folks, with that, as brilliant and knowledgeable as you've become, among the wisest audience of any radio audience in the world, and you are, I want you to take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, how much of that knowledge did I obtain from Republic Broadcasting Network? How high has my consciousness been raised since I've been a listener? How fast am I now able to discriminate truth from fake news by being a Republic Broadcasting listener? How clear am I now able to see the world since I've been listening to RBN? Ask yourselves those questions, folks. Then ask yourself, what is that knowledge worth to me? Like my morning coffee, How would I survive without it? A voice of truth in a sea of lies. Do we not all need to make sure it survives? Like public broadcasting, we are now finding we can only survive with listener support. Censorship, advertisers being attacked, truth itself being attacked. It's the only way through this. We at Republic Broadcasting humbly ask you to become a supporter. Look at your budget and make a determination of what Republic Broadcasting is worth to you and what you can afford on a monthly basis. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and pledge $20, $30, $40, $50, if possible, $100 a month or more if it's affordable. Click the donate button and become a regular monthly donor. Assure both us and yourself that Republic Broadcasting truth will continue to flow like that morning coffee. The network thanks you.
Homeowners, if your lender has gone out of business or sold your transaction to another lender or servicer, you may be the victim of a wrongful foreclosure resulting in the loss of your home. If you've already lost your home, are in foreclosure, or even in good standing, you can challenge the mortgage transaction's illegal issue and your property can be restored to you, and your foreclosure can be stopped or reversed and the mortgage transaction declared unenforceable. State laws, U.S. title codes, the Uniform Commercial Codes, and U.S. Supreme Court rulings have upheld that defective mortgage documentations can reverse or stop foreclosures and enforce property title claims in favor of the homeowner. We are having successes in stopping the process of foreclosure, the enforcement of the foreclosure judgments, the sale of property, and evictions after the sale. We are not attorneys, and we don't give legal advice. We are a professional team of legal researchers, providing forensic mortgage audits and expert witnesses. We have the knowledge to produce the evidence and enforce laws regarding your legal issues. We've been in business for 12 years without a complaint. Consultations are free, and we provide a free title search to confirm if your mortgage has legal defects. Please call 855-253-3748. 855, the number 2, keep it today.
Inside the doorway, use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we welcome Richard from North Carolina on the Republic Broadcasting Network. You could call into the show live and ask a question, and I encourage you to do so at 800-313-9443, or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Okay, Richard, we can attack this thing again, I guess. And that's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, well, we need to be attacking it, that's for sure, Frank. And I'll start with the 12 million Americans that were misdiagnosed by medical facilities. And this was reported in a medical journal magazine, and that these 12 million American people had been labeled with a mental illness. And not only that, it was proven later that all of these people had been there pertaining to some sort of skin issue, parasites, open wounds, itching, scratching, something strange happening, hair falling out, headaches, blurred vision, on and on and on. That's what these people were trying to report, but they were misdiagnosed. And somewhere along the way, they caught it enough to put it in a medical journal book or magazine, and literally it's dated back before most people's targeting. So, it's questionable about what all was going on there, maybe it started out small and ended up big. But I would like to also say to the rest of America, pertaining to anyone that might be listening, target or not, that if you're not a target now, it doesn't mean you're not going to be one, because you can be added to this at any time, depending on, well, the money and the intent or the agenda that they are set out to accomplish. I say all over again, all the things above, all of the above are part of this, and that includes the AI and control of the government and things that are changing in our world. I found it funny that the World Trade Centers, when they were destroyed, they were built back as the Freedom Tower. That was the name of it. I know that for a fact because I was going to go up and help out. I'm an engineer of sorts and was going to go help build it just because I was patriotic enough to want to do so. Well, they've changed the name from the Freedom Tower to the New World Tower. And I find that a little bit much, but anyway, God bless America, and God first, family and country second, but I pray for all the people that they understand. They got to stop and understand there's a reason for all this to be called a conspiracy theory. There's a reason for all this to be hidden. There's a reason for us having a virus that no one really understands or knows or reports on properly all of a sudden. And by the way, this is the first time I've known America to be shut down practically completely with the military involved in my lifetime. And
right.
Something
in
really strong is going on.
Yeah, I think that what we have to do, Richard, is look at this. We're looking at the flu. Now, it is center stage. Now, what's going on behind the curtain? I mean, is the little man behind the curtain with the levers making something really serious or what? Because it's somebody's great opportunity, their greatest opportunity right now to work behind the scenes and create whatever they want, because the attention is totally drawn to COVID-19. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think that the gentleman behind the curtain pulling the levers is poking his head out to his first hand
Rich,
man or right hand.
We have to go to station identification. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Is the Second Amendment your line in the sand? Is the United States Constitution important to you? Are you worried about gun confiscation? You need to join us for free at gunconfiscation.com. At gunconfiscation.com, you will meet like-minded patriots, get the latest Second Amendment news, and find anything you need to prepare for gun confiscation. Visit gunconfiscation.com today. That's gunconfiscation.com. Which side are you on?
Talk Right, the conservative app offered by TalkStream Live that caters exclusively to the conservative talk radio community. Here you'll see only talk shows and podcasts from the conservative right, all the big broadcast names and online digital shows in one place. Talk Right makes it easy to find all your favorite conservative talkers with all the upscale features you come to expect from TalkStream Live. Keep up with the fast-paced political world. Download Talk Right today from Google Play or the App Store.
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, Fingers and or toes often go cold. Arms and or legs often go to sleep. Sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe. Short walks cause cramping or pains in legs. Memory is not as good as it used to be. Ankles swell late in the day. Chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we have been building our online store. Well, we have been focusing on bringing you the best talk show host in the country. Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we also want our listeners to have products they can use every day and in times of emergency. We have added new products each week to our store. Your support of this network, plus products at the best prices, is a win-win situation. Check out our new store. Go to our website, republicbroadcasting.org, and click on the online store located at the top of our website. Together, we can continue to grow RBN and help our listeners prepare for the future. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and click on our online store or call us.
800-724-2719, extension 3. 800-724-2719, extension 3.
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we welcome back Richard from North Carolina on the Republic Broadcasting Network. And we are discussing the conspiracy of the United States itself, which is one big conspiracy against its people. That I will say, and I will back it up. Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, thank you, Frank. And you're exactly right. We better start doing a lot more about backing it up. But to answer the question, the gentleman behind the curtain pulling the levers has been hidden way too long. We need to expose that little lever box of his, and I'm certain that he's poked his head out of one corner somewhere hollering at his right-hand man, and he's saying, we got to keep this covered up, invent a virus, spread it if we have to. We can't let these people know, like we did back in the late 50s and early 60s during the MK Ultra thing, what we're doing. We got to cover this up, whatever it costs, even if we have to steal a few more $1 trillion from the Federal Reserve, whatever we got to do to keep this going on. As these millions of people, this country could not afford more than 12 million people that were misdiagnosed and maybe with a strange disease that may very well be contagious across the globe. And, the insurance companies, the hospitals, everything would shut down anyway. We would be collapsed economically. So we've got to do this. And I'm going to throw this out there. But the biggest way that they're doing and getting away with this is not just the gentleman pulling the levers. He's got little worker bees out there that are using the utmost technology not to be caught, not to be seen or heard, except in a manner that you have no proof. The plausible deniability throughout the whole thing exists. And that's how we've managed to go so many years without some real solid catching of these people and proof to shut this down or that down. But they're scared. They think we're coming along, and we are, a little piece here and a little piece there. And, well, maybe when the coronavirus loses its wind, they'll come up with something different. But either way, targeted individuals have been here for a very, very long time. Jesus himself was a target. St. Patrick was a target. The Jews were a target. The MK Ultra victims were targets. And it's going to continue. So whatever part of the government or organizations attached to, they've got to be stopped. We got to go ahead and have that tea party, like I said, until there's no tea, before there's no tea left to throw in the bay. And we've got to get on down to some taxation problems because there's no representation. That's exactly one of the problems. There's no representation, but yet they continue with the taxation because that's how they get the money to do whatever they choose to do to us.
Richard, do you have excise tax on your automobiles in North Carolina?
Yes, sir, we do. Yes,
well, now that law and that tax came out during World War II, and it was supposed to be halted as soon as World War II ended. But they just never did. So we still have the excise tax from World War II. So they owe us a lot of money right there. But I think the little bumblebee or the worker bees behind the curtain, one of them is Bill Gates, because he just gave 31 billion even to the World Health Organization. So that's why they kind of go along with Uncle Bill.
Yep. Uncle Bill's got a lot of clout. In fact, they probably got him a special recliner inside the curtain instead of him being a worker bee. But health organization, that's a big statement right there, because I guarantee you the fraud of all that they're doing to people is coming directly through the health organization. I told the lady earlier in the car with that tag, Freud, that I've caught these people many times with tablets and found my name. I could see through the window, see my name, address, date and time and location when these people would show up, and they would be wearing scrubs or hospital clothes of some sort in these cars that were following me around. I got attacked, brought up in daylight in a parking lot on Christmas Eve 2 years ago, and the people that did it were caught doing it. They got away, of course, but there was two ladies, one man had me outside my truck under some sort of control that I had no memory of what they were doing, and they were injecting me in my spine. And a person was with me and witnessed all of this. So they were either taking something out, putting something in, I don't know, but it happens to me on a regular basis. And fraud and money, making of money, research, experimentation is, well, the biggest part is the fraud. Because somebody's paying them, and it may be the taxpayers themselves that are paying for them to do all of this, which is, well, wrong. But again, our AG Barr in Congress answering questions pertaining to the Mueller's report, he closed off 4 sections of that report and claimed that it was a matter of national security. So he wasn't going to release it. Congress threatened, hey, you said we were going to get this, you were going to expose this. He says, no way. They say, by what authority? He says, the president's authority. They say, well, the president don't have the authority, so on and so on. Well, we still don't have it. It's come and gone, and we still didn't get that information to the public. So they're absolutely hiding something that has to do with targets. And I believe the coronavirus, the Patriot Act, and the whole thing is connected. Targets. The Bible even mentions such a thing going on with the cells and the machines they're using to burst the DNA and change the DNA and all of that going on in the hospitals and research centers now. But one of the bigger things that has escaped a lot of people is institute here in North Carolina, Duke University and Chapel Hill University. We found proof information that the DOD had put money in place for experimentation to patients that were unsuspecting, unknowing. Nothing was to be said. They were to be let known what was happening to them and what was going on with them after they were finished. So these people at these institutes were just pulling names and pulling people to put on this experimentation, and the DOD was paying for it. And it turns out that many institutes across the whole country are participating in the same thing, research centers.
Yeah, I wonder how long, you said research centers. I wonder how long this is going to go on now. They said 10 weeks, and the president said, I believe yesterday, that the next 11 days would be very crucial. And I'm not really seeing what he is talking about, but I understand that deaths in the United States will peak within these 11 days if they've done their calculations properly.
Oh, yes, it's going to have a peak, and it will have a drop-off. But from my research, this is not going to go away. It's going to be an annual event that this virus is going to come back and forth and back and forth. The problem during the time it does that is the mutation of it, because in a lab, they can watch it. They can watch what it does, how it mutates, what it's capable of the next time around, what great, wonderful thing it's come up with new. But out here in the world, they don't have a clue what it's going to do. And the biggest scary part of this whole thing is this was talked about. It's been spoke of for years and years. Once science figured out about molecules and atoms and microscopic things, that they could tell what was good for man and what was bad for man. And they found, wow, look at this thing here with the man is different than animal. That's why the animal disease doesn't go to the man, and the man's disease doesn't go to the animal. There's a barrier here. It's a miracle thing. And, well, that's what this is. This is where the two have breached the gap between, and is passing back and forth, which there's been some passing back and forth before, even with the AIDS and bird flus and all this stuff. It's a passing back and forth, but apparently this one is quite a bit bigger, quite a bit more misunderstood, unknown, and even the president himself said that it's like we've never seen. And all the research that we've done, me and some other people, have found that that's exactly right, because no one knows about whether it's airborne or not that it is or it isn't, because they don't know what else it does. As far as they know, it could jump, bounce, or fly, or do something besides just float. They don't know, and it's going to continue throughout, well, the next several years, absolutely, because even the people in China had reported that it was definitely going to be an annual happening. Now, how can you know that? Even ask yourself this question. How are you going to determine some people are immune, okay? Some people are being given a pass to go on about their lives. Well, you're immune, you're okay. Well, how do they know that if they don't know more about this than what they're telling us? They're not telling us everything.
I have heard, probably I would say 6 to 7 days ago, that this wasn't on mainstream news, that's for sure, but they were claiming that this virus may act the same way that the AIDS virus does and stick with you. And that was actually proven in the beginning because they had people who had tested positive for COVID-19. They were fine, they left, and then they were tested once again positively. So that's kind of scary. And I think it's like you have said, that this might be a yearly visit, only hopefully next time we will be ready.
Absolutely. God willing, we will learn some things along the way. My biggest fear is not the disease itself or the fight we have in front of us. My biggest fear are the lies that we have to work through pertaining to what we're not being told. And, well, I can understand, you don't want to have the panic, but then again, somewhere along the way, you have to draw a line in the dirt. You have to put your foot down and say, okay, this is it. This is where we do it. This is where we make the change. And you have to do it. You can't keep playing behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's time for that curtain to be drawn and probably 10 or 12 people jailed for life because there aren't many people running this world. There are just a few. And they should all be caged. Imagine seeing an article that says people would be paid $6 an hour to dig graves in New York at the prison. I mean, these are all things that are true. Rikers Island, they were going to pay or have paid $6 an hour to dig mass graves, not just graves, mass graves. So that is,
wow.
We should have a commercial coming up here shortly. I just want to prepare you for it.
Okay.
Now it probably won't come. But I just wanted to let you know that, you bring a lot of good information with you. And anytime you want to come on here, you just go ahead and give me a call.
Well, I do appreciate that, Frank. And
here's that commercial.
Appreciate the, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for listening, folks. We'll see you in 3.
Did you
you know that you can be tracked and traced when you're online? With identity theft and cybercrimes on the rise, your passwords, your identity, and even your physical location can be revealed to complete strangers. Would you like to surf the internet anonymously and not have to worry about these threats? Well, now you can by visiting patriotinternet.com. For about $2 per month, patriotinternet.com will conceal your IP address and your physical location, allowing you to browse the web, send emails, and instant message anonymously. patriotinternet.com will bypass filters, block sites, and keyword blocking. You can also bypass logging by your router and your ISP. With patriotinternet.com, there is no software to install and uses 128-bit encryption for your protection. When using wireless hotspots, patriotinternet.com shields your information from identity thieves and is compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. Protect your identity and your freedom with anonymous internet access from patriotinternet.com. Visit patriotinternet.com today.
Homeowners, are you in foreclosure, expecting to be served with a foreclosure lawsuit, or suspect your lender has coerced you into an illegal mortgage transaction? A huge number of mortgages made in the last 10 years have legal issues and are possibly defective. State laws and the U.S. Supreme Court have upheld that defective mortgage documents are grounds for foreclosure defense and for counterclaims in favor of the homeowner. If your mortgage has been sold or assigned since closing the loan, it may be defective and you may be paying the wrong party, and the lender may not have standing or the right to foreclose or collect payments under the law. If you would like to know if your mortgage is legal or not, or know if you are paying the right party, we can help. Our initial consultations are free of charge. We are not attorneys. We are legal researchers and work closely with experienced lawyers who know how to help you find the evidence to help you keep your home. Call toll-free 1-855-2-KEEP-IT. That's 1-855-2-KEEP-IT today.
How would you like to earn an extra $10,000 or more a month from the comfort of your home? We show you how to win with a home-based business opportunity. This could be one of the best financial decisions you ever make. Work from home, full-time or part-time. Plus, you'll never have to talk to anyone. Our professional sales team closes all your sales for you, and you keep 70% of all the sales made. You could be earning money while you're sleeping, shopping, working out, wherever you are, day or night. Our system goes to work for you. You can make a great income without any special computer skills or sales training. Plus, you get paid fast, within just 24 to 48 hours after our professional sales team closes a sale for you. Let us help you eliminate your financial concerns. You could be earning enough money to pay off debt, buy a house, a car, or whatever the case may be. We've got you covered. If you'd like to add an extra $10,000 or more a month to your portfolio, and you would like to know exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, go now to www.getstartedwithus.com. That's www.getstartedwithus.com. Again, that's www.getstartedwithus.com.
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, Richard from North Carolina and I have been reporting on a little bit of 5G, a little bit about being targeted, the deep state. We've covered some topics here. Go ahead, Richard. We haven't got too much time.
I just want to end the conversation with the fact that these virals and these fungals, these things that they've been working on and bothering or tampering or experimenting with for years now, not just now because of this newly named virus, these things cannot be removed surgically. They have to be removed with equipment, electronics, drugs, chemicals, so on, technology even. They have to do it from the inside out, of course, which sounds sort of like a microwave. You know, that's what a microwave does. It starts from the inside and works its way out, but these things cannot surgically be removed, and they're fighting back. These virals and fungals are getting smarter and smarter, so is the bacteria and infections, but they're having to come up with different ways to try to deal with these things. For instance, cancer. Cancer cannot be, you cut it, you don't get it just right, you got a big problem. You got some deaths on your hand. And that's exactly the way that these fungals and virals, which cancer is a fungal, that's how they're reacting. They have a defense. And if you attack it, it will attack the body. And that's very well known. Some of these things, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, Crohn's, Alzheimer's, many of these things are connected and are showing the same faces, although they've changed because of the mutations they've made outside the lab. And again, it doesn't matter if they were accidental or accidentally on purpose or even above and beyond deliberate. Maybe someone out there is trying to fight it. Maybe someone's trying to promote more death. It doesn't matter, but we've got to come together, get a little closer on some truth, and see if we can get this exposed. It's a funny thing about the truth. Once the truth is known, then the lies have nowhere to hide.
Thank you so much, Richard. And we're very shortly coming up on the close of the show. And I'd like to thank my listeners. I'd like to thank you, Richard. And I'd like to say good night from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen.
What would you say if I told you we have a new tool that will increase production and lower maintenance costs for your meat processing company? And it would pay for itself in just 6 weeks.
When pigs fly!
The new EaseOff Model EZ4 replaces old spring-style carcass droppers and is faster, safer, and more reliable. The EaseOff lowers or lifts 1,000 pounds to or from your rail automatically using our remote control.
Sounds expensive. Can I afford it?
Can you afford not to try the EaseOff? It installs fast with just 3 bolts in place of your current dropper. The effortless operation will reduce fatigue and injuries, speed up your line, eliminate downtime, and increase profit.
How can I order my EaseOff?
Go to easeoff.com, EAZEOFF.com, and hurry, because we are offering $200 off on the new EZ4 for a limited time. Easeoff.com. We make pigs fly. Cows, too. EaseOff LLC, Summersville, Missouri, 417-932-6419.
You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Because you can handle the truth.